Um, we're obviously very happy to have won that game. It was definitely a tough one. Obviously with the overtimes, you really got to dig down deep, and I thought our team did a great job of just finding a way to win. And even though we're happy about this, we're not satisfied, and we know we have a good opportunity ahead of us in Minnesota, and hopefully we can come away with a win. But we know it's not going to be easy. I mean, the first game wasn't easy, second game wasn't easy. I wouldn't be surprised if Game 3 is harder than both.
I don't have any other things to say.
No? Okay, questions? No questions? This is the best press conference ever.
How big was the home court advantage there down the stretch? It seemed like the crowd really got into it going into overtime.
Yeah, it was huge. Anytime you're in an atmosphere like this, the energy that we can soak up from the crowd really makes a big difference. They stayed behind us throughout the end of regulation, and then in the first time overtime and the second time overtime. So yeah, it was a big win. We appreciate them being out there.
Okay, so Minnesota goes on that 16-0 run. They go up, then you guys come back. What's the difference between those periods of time in the game? What was maybe not working for you then that was working for you later on?
I think Minnesota is just that kind of team. Well, I should say they have the kind of talent that, their offense can sometimes beat your defense no matter how well you play. And they were just hitting shots. They were hitting tough shots. It seemed like they couldn't miss at that point in the game. But everybody who plays basketball knows it's a game of runs. And that was their run, and we knew we were going to make ours. And I'm really just proud of everyone for kind of sticking to that. Because at that point, it could be easy. It could be very easy to just put your head down, oh, we're down, whatever, and there they go, and have them, or I should say let them, go up 20, 25 points. But we didn't. We never hung our heads, and we knew we would have an opportunity. We just knew it, and we just hung in there.
The timing of that first run, how important was it right before halftime like that?
Yeah, it was important for sure. I mean, just for us to stick with it and not give up big gaps going into the half. So, you want to, with this kind of team, you want to keep the game close. If you're not hitting or something's not going your way, and at the end it wasn't really going our way at the end of that first half. You want to keep the game close and make a run at the end. And we did a good job of keeping it close and giving ourselves the opportunity coming out in the second half.
What was talked about in the huddle heading into that second OT?
I don't know. At that point, I think we felt as if we were doing the things we needed to do to win the game. We had a pretty good scheme on defense that seemed to be working, and we knew we still had to do things like take care of their offensive rebounds, not let them get second chance points. And on the flip side, just try to take care of the ball. The times where we struggled offensively is when we weren't really on the same page, and I think in the second overtime, we kind of narrowed our calls down to 2-3 things and just, to be honest, ran the hell out of them. And that was kind of how it all went. And I think we're a better team when we're like that.
Thought we showed a lot of resiliency and toughness, and we're excited about the opportunity going back and playing in Minnesota. Questions?
Brian, what kind of change after Minnesota went on that run, that 16-0 run? What kind of changes did you make? Get back into the game as close as you did at halftime.
Well, I mean, for us to play well, we have to defend people, and we just weren't catching breaks. We weren't hitting shots. We weren't playing quite as gritty as we needed to at the defensive end. And fortunately, we did have a way to stay in the game. I was concerned at that time because they have the ability to do that. I don't know how many points they scored. I don't have my glasses on in the first quarter, but it was a lot more than what we wanted to give up at that short period of time. But second quarter, we sort of fought our way back, and at halftime it was pretty much a ball game. It seemed like forever, though. We talked about we didn't want to play from behind. We played from behind the whole night up in Minnesota, and we couldn't get the lead. And we had opportunities, and we finally, I think, got our opportunity there sometime in the fourth quarter.
Brian, on that final possession of regulation, without a timeout, did you call something from the sideline during those free throws?
During that timeout, we drew something up. We didn't have any left, so we had an opportunity to just try to get organized a little bit. And you know, the looks we wanted to get were obviously Sue, and then if that wasn't going to be there, then Lauren. And fortunately for us, Sue made a good read, got it to Lauren, and Lauren didn't hesitate and hit the shot.
You talk about the defensive effort on Simone Augustus after she had that big third quarter to kind of contain her, especially on that final play of the first regulation.
Well, Simone's a great one-on-one player. There's no question. She might be the best in our league at the ability of just creating separation from the defender and getting shots off. And you know, Tanisha was on her, and we had Katie on her for a while. Then we put Camille on her for a while, and I thought Camille, maybe the size, along with the fatigue of the game, you know, may have helped us at that time for her hitting some shots. But I thought all three really fought hard, and Simone, like I said, is just a heck of a player.
Obviously, a tough shooting night for Lauren. What did you see her do to try to compensate for that? And you know, her making the big shot at the end, that's sort of what we're used to from Sue, of maybe not having a great night, but then still making the big shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's going to have tough shooting nights, and Lauren is a great player. You know, she's still getting her rhythm back with our team a little bit. She missed some shots in around the basket. You know, I will say this. You know, they're congesting her, and there's a lot of physicality going on around the basket, and I don't know if Lauren adapted real well to that tonight, but I do know this: she will adapt to it, and you know, she'll play better on Tuesday.
Anything you've seen in these first two games that you might want to make adjustments for, making changes for heading into Game 3 on Tuesday night?
Not at this moment. I mean, we will after we watch the film. You know, it's always nice to be able to rewind things 4, 5, 6 times. Then you can see, you know, some of the things they were doing to us that they were successful at. And so we'll watch the film, and as they will, and I'm sure both teams will adjust one way or the other.
When you had foul trouble with Camille and Lauren, what kind of luxury is it to bring the league's all-time leading scorer off the bench to replace him?
Well, Tina was huge tonight, you know. And, you know, next night it might be Ann